It's 9 in the morning and it's time to... I guess, I don't know. Actually, we have a lot of evidence, so I don't know who exactly we're pointing the finger at. I mean, I guess Jake Marshall, the cowboy. Are we saying he's the true killer or something? How do you do it if he actually is the culprit? I don't know. We just know he's involved somehow. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Yeah. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. It's hard to believe that Mr. Cowboy is the one that's involved and there's the murderer, because what motive does he have? I don't know. Let's find out, maybe. Court is now in session for the trial with Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. Like, Wait, what do you mean? It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police departments from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goldman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically impossible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admiral trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. There's Meekins. He reminds me of, what is it, Rock Lee from Naruto, you know? His eyes and eyebrows. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. Okay. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? But sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. Oh, case closed. I mean, all we need to save is Lana Sky, right? So, I mean, we could just pin it all on Officer Meekins here and just go home. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, Well, we'd like to hear from you. Sir, I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir, the millennials. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edwards, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Alright. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. And I was wondering what he was holding there. I think that's a Japanese good luck charm, I think. You know? A little, like, I guess, you know, symbolic talisman, I guess, to, like, give you good luck or, you know, ward you from evil spirits, that sort of thing. I think you typically get it from, like, a temple or something. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Well, I guess that's a hint to press him for information. Okay, it's not your normal duty. Oh, Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. Wow. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, really? Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Suspicious man? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Okay, which one is it? There it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us a number? Yes, sir, it's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. 450, 514. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay. Okay, I was thinking like, yeah. I was thinking like if he was on his way to put the Blue Badger in the evidence room, or did he already put it there? I guess. Supposedly. Right here. He went at 4:50 p.m. to put the Blue Badger in the room, and I guess the Blue Badger was already in the room, and then he went in again at 5:14 to actually get it out of the evidence room, but that's when he saw a suspicious person, supposedly Bruce Goodman. I guess someone did enter the room at 4:14 as well, or 5:14. I wonder why the Blue Badger was moved, like... after he was knocked unconscious or everything, who moved the Blue Badger back outside? I don't know. Maybe just the crime investigators, like just normal people, you know, after the crime happened. They just thought it wasn't relevant or something, I don't know. But anyway, he was suddenly attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, we'll be charging in on him like that. He looks as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... Well, when I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife. I spun it around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Okay. See. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake, okay? About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious! Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, well, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. Oh, okay, so he was the one that just took out the Blue Badger, even though he was somehow involved in that whole thing. I guess at the time, I guess he didn't realize it was as serious as murder, you know. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gaunt delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The Chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. In this world, we still use videotapes, you know, despite having fingerprint technology. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told it has been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. It looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Yes, yeah, the police aren't exactly cooperating with Edgeworth right now. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Okay, what do I say? There's the Blue Badger. Wait, what? Okay. There's a lot of things that happened there. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirring within us? Boom. What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Oh, sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Well, okay, so that was weird. I mean, I guess, yeah, Mikan's not exactly lying. I guess that's generally what happened. I don't think he murdered the victim, though. But then where did the victim go? Exactly. We didn't see him actually, like, leave the room. I didn't know where did he go? I don't know. Well, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened a locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do it. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Yeah, that is a good point. What is this about a fingerprint? Well, each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Well, I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. Everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Well, tell me, were you able to get a good look on him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I'll be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. So I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. Be prepared to lose your badge, buddy. Actually, I don't know. Is it Detective Goodman? I'm not sure. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is there looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing, or... Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. That is why you were positive that was him. He opened a locker, it required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. Well, about these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. Locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from the people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my, romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. Gumshoe, I suppose. I presume, rather. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. However, the most important detail is not shown in the video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in the case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can't testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem? Let's see. Let's see. Here. Can we go faster? I want to go faster if possible. I can't fast forward. No fast forward button. It's a long video, so. Yeah, what is the problem? I mean, there's like several problems for one. The fact that we don't see the actual victim leave. Like, where did he go? But, we'll see. Okay. Can we stop here? I was wondering... Well, I don't know. I can't see. I was wondering, like, was he wearing gloves or something? It's hard to see, though. It's all black and white. This is like another, again, it's very similar to another, like, case where I was wondering whether or not someone's wearing gloves, but you can't tell, so... You can't tell if he's wearing gloves or not. I don't see it. Apparently, like, they were fighting or whatever, some scuffle or something. Yeah, I assume, yeah, if he is wearing gloves, then, he wouldn't be able to open the fingerprint locker, but that makes no sense as well, so I don't know. Yeah. I don't get it. Let's see. What knife was... I don't know. I don't know if he's using... Was he using this knife, or... Was he using this knife? Maybe it's a knife we haven't seen before. Only the signed detective's prints can unlock it. Just look at this. It's just a door. I'll look at it again, because I'm not sure. This is a big assumption, the fact that he might be wearing gloves. Wait, look. The light's open! Why was the light open? Look at this. Indicator light lights up when it's open. It's already open when we first see it. So he didn't need to use his fingerprints. Is there a problem with it? Okay, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun though. So what are we trying to prove? Is there a problem with the videotape? Problem with the videotape. Because either it's because there's already a light in the locker, or that he was wearing gloves. Right? Because again, it says right here, only the signed detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator light lights up when it's open, not when it's closed. You look at here, all the lights are closed, or they're turned off, right? But this locker, it's already been open before anyone's even touched it. So we can only assume... I mean, it's been open before, so... I mean, I don't know. Let's see. So there's something wrong. There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out? Okay, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm jumping the guns. Either the fact he's wearing gloves, or it's either because the light was already on when he came in. You know? Okay. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. That's not a problem in the video. It's the first time I ever had to do that. You know, everything's black and white. If it, you know, that's the problem with this video. And also all the photos in the Phoenix Wright universe. Like, everything's black and white. If only this was Blu-ray, you know, or color in general, I guess. Then we could see if it's like actual, like, whether or not the victim was wearing a gloved hand, or was it just his normal hand? I don't know. Alright. Take a good look and point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stop watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? And we can fast forward this time, which is cool, okay. I guess we didn't have that choice in the court record. Pause there. But what's the question? Prove something that it's not Detective Goodman. Okay, well, this is my first. Like, this is most decisive. Because the whole glove thing, I can't really tell. You know, it's hard to tell. But the fact this light is already on is pretty suspicious. So I'm gonna try. I don't know. Again, I'm always jumping the gun sometimes. So it might be something that I'm not supposed to point out yet. But let's see. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean sir? Well, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match... Right? Who's that picture, by the way? Anyway. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Doop 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 doop. I'm gonna watch the whole video again. Alright. As the Blue Badger theme song plays over and over and over again. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. I guess the Blue Badger is a little stuck there, I guess, conveniently hiding the victim's face. I wish we can go a little faster. Hurry up! Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. It's lit, fam. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! That's an actual sound. It's like a chicken sound. Order, order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? US, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor, say... Well, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Why is that? Okay. I'm not sure. Why is it not locked? I can't tell. I was thinking maybe something was like jammed in the sense that something... Well, actually, okay. Now think about it. I guess we can just like, Actually, can I go back? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to pause it, you know, because I wanted to point out that glove. Okay, good thing we didn't take a penalty hit. Normally we take a penalty hit, but I guess we can take as many guesses as we want. Pretty forgiving at this part, I guess. And I guess at this part again, because this is like a unique case for the DS remake. I keep saying remake. It's not really a remake. It's kind of like a collection, I guess. But this case was unique for DS, so that's why there's like, you know, 3D now. 3D stuff. Amazing. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Okay, we get to see it again, even though the player's already seen it. Well, no music this time. That's ominous. Do 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 do. Anyway, what's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my door. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? Well, the sensor triggers a lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Yes, we get to see this again. This game is very forgiving. Well, I guess sometimes. Other times, not so much. Other times, I always get like stuck at a certain part. I didn't really understand what I was supposed to do. Well, this white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of the patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my toy chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, would the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Well, it's kind of obvious because we can see in the video. It's a galavu. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? But sir... It would appear, sir. It will appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goldman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Oh, of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Okay, something else that proves that it was Goodman. There's one other thing that would prove the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective has used his card. Wow! Wow! An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Yeah, same one we have right there. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? Well, this particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Well, just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Well, now let's move on to the cross-examination. Okay. It's a very specific, I guess, type of evidence room. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Oh, couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Well, let's hear him out fully. As we see, one never knows what he might say until the last second. Okay, to enter this room, let's use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Well, maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed. Okay. Well, let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. And a bow. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Maybe he's behind all this. He's the real killer. Again. Mommy, is the man in blue a murderer? What, I'm the murderer, apparently? You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Heck if I use his card. Well, earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled out a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Actually, Phoenix is saying it's like very obvious. But is it obvious? Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard as well, but I'm not sure what the contradiction is. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Okay. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. When did he die again? Is that exactly? I guess died within an hour and a half, so that's not really useful. Parking stub, 512. That's kind of weird. Because I'm trying to think, like, how do I prove that it couldn't have been Goodman at the evidence room? No, I don't think this is anything important right now. Because he ended at 5:14. Supposedly he would die at 5:15, but I mean that's... I don't know. That's assuming he died at 5:15. I don't know that though. 5:18, no. We're just looking at time. 5:12. Well, here's the thing. We found his ID at the prosecutor's office, though. So that's weird, but I don't know if it's a contradiction, though. I don't know. Look at the video again. What does it say here? What does it say? 17:14. I don't know how to read that. -2, so 5:14. I guess that makes sense. 5:14 is when he entered, right? That makes sense. 5:14. So, I mean, yeah, it's not really a contradiction, at least the time when he entered, supposedly, Goodman. Goodman entered 514. I can't fast forward. I think, well, we've seen enough of that. So 514. I mean, I don't think that's a contradiction. I guess, again, my initial, gut instinct is the fact that, well, his ID was found in the prosecutor's office. That's weird. How did it end up there all of a sudden? You know? I'm gonna say it. Take that! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. Ah yes, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. I didn't put the two. Okay, I didn't put the two and two together. A lost item report. It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman has lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes? What's he up to? He's so smug, turning his smug mode on, Smugworth. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed to be content to be pointing your finger around. But this isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. The trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Nah. Oh. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Uh-oh. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Well, what do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Mia, where are you? Mia's with Maya, and Maya's not here, so... Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Okay. What does it prove? What does it prove? Here's Meekins, he's unconscious. Where did the victim go? I've noticed this piece of cloth here as well. Only shows up apparently after Meekins is unconscious. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Ah, yes. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name, before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Well, obviously, it's Gumshoe! No, it's this guy. Yep. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. Oh, he's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We should need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Alright. Cowboy time. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Hey, break time. Yeah, he thinks he's a cowboy. Delusional fantasies about being a cowboy. Is he like, I don't know. Yeah. Is he sane enough to be on the stand? I don't know. See profiles. Cough up queen. Good. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured out everything. I haven't figured out anything, really. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to prove you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. It's Gumshoe out of nowhere. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Yep. Oh wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it up, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my requests. My name? I'm never in a million years would I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings. So 2 years ago, apparently. The person that got executed, and, Edgeworth was involved, and a bunch of detectives as well. I'll take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... Many? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana. That's over with. No. Mwah. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. And the Gumshoe runs away too. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case has connected those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Guzen. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. To be continued. Wow. And again, is it like another case where we're gonna be looking at another, like a past case, and that's somehow connected to the current case? I don't know. Is it like is a statute of limitations, is that involved as well? That was definitely a thing.